Hello, everybody.
Hi, Taylor.
So my name is Taylor. I'm going to be introducing my friend Dan. So let me see again. Who likes pancakes? Oh, I love pancakes too. My friend Daniel's story is actually about pancakes. So without further ado, let's introduce Daniel.
There are many kinds of foods that we can eat, but there are some that we just have to call our favorite. I know someone whose favorite food is a huge stack of buttery pancakes with maple syrup. His name is Mr. Wolf, and one time he tries to make pancakes for the first time, but he has trouble along the way. This story is Mr. Wolf's Pancakes by Jan Fearnley. Mr. Wolf lived in a lovely and peaceful village where there were many round hills. It became winter time, and the snow started to fall over the land, covering the whole village in a powdery white snow. Mr. Wolf was a big and heavy wolf, and he had thick, dark brown fur. One morning, Mr. Wolf was hungry, and he decided he wanted to make some pancakes. "Yum, yum," he said, licking his wolf lips at the thought of a big pile of fresh, delicious pancakes. Mr. Wolf had never made pancakes before, so he grabbed his big recipe book down off the shelf and looked inside. But wolves aren't very good at reading, and Mr. Wolf was having trouble understanding it. So he decided to call on his neighbors for some help. Chicken Little, who lived next door, was a short, fat chicken with white, bushy feathers. She knew how to read, so Mr. Wolf called on her for some help. "Chicken Little, can you please help me to read my recipe book?"
No! I'm busy watching my baby chicks.
He slammed her door in Mr. Wolf's face. Bang! Mr. Wolf had to walk back to his house and slowly read the book. It took him a long time to work out what he needed, but he did it all by himself. Mr. Wolf then looked in his kitchen cupboard for the ingredients, but he couldn't find anything that he needed. "I'll go to the store," he said. So he sat down to write a grocery list and count how much money to bring. But wolves aren't very good at writing or counting. So he knew the gingerbread man was good at both, so he went to his house for some help. The gingerbread man was a tiny little man who was a baked, rich, dark brown color, and he sparkled with sugar. Mr. Wolf knocked on the gingerbread man's door, and he answered.
What do you want, Mr. Wolf?
Shouted the gingerbread man. "Hello, gingerbread man. I'm trying to get ingredients for pancakes, but I'm having trouble counting my money and writing a shopping list. Can you help me to do this?"
No, I'm too busy to bother with you.
He slammed his door in Mr. Wolf's face. Bang! Mr. Wolf had to walk back to his house and slowly count his money and write a grocery list. It took him a long time to do it, but he did it all by himself. Now it was time to go to the grocery store to buy the ingredients. The cashier who worked there was a little old lady named Mrs. Lovejoy. She noticed Mr. Wolf looked upset, and she was concerned.
You look upset, Mr. Wolf. What's the matter?
"Well, I asked Chicken Little to help me read my recipe book, but he refused and slammed his door in my face. I kindly asked the gingerbread man to help me write a grocery list and count my money, but he didn't want to help me. I feel hopeless because nobody wants to help me."
Now, Mr. Wolf, don't let these people keep you from making pancakes. I believe in you, and you ought to believe in yourself.
"Why, thank you, Mrs. Lovejoy." He bought his ingredients and then walked back to his house. Now it was time to make the pancakes, but wolves aren't very good at cooking food. Mr. Wolf knew the three little pigs were great at cooking food. They cooked all the time. So he went to their house for some help. He knocked on each one of those three short, flat, fat, plump pink pigs' doors and kindly asked them, "Can you please help me to cook my pancakes? I'll share them with you."
Forget about it.
They slammed their doors in Mr. Wolf's face. Bang, bang, bang. Mr. Wolf was very sad. All the response he was getting from his neighbors were doors being slammed in his face. Similarly, in his own mind, Mr. Wolf was shutting out the hope that he had of making pancakes. But then he remembered what that little lady told him, how she believed in him. And Mr. Wolf still had one door left open, the door of his own house. And he walked through that door, determined to work hard to make those pancakes. Soon, there was a huge pile of steaming, buttery pancakes on the table. As Mr. Wolf was making the pancakes, a lovely smell drifted out of the kitchen, and all the neighbors could smell it. This made them very hungry for pancakes. So they decided to try their luck. This time they were knocking on Mr. Wolf's door. Mr. Wolf answered.
Give us some of your pancakes!
Shouted the rude bunch. Why should I give any to you? Not one of you would want to help me.
Yeah, but we'll help you either.
We're not going anywhere until you give us some.
Mr. Wolf thought very hard for a moment. He knew he had only one decent thing to do. This is what he told his rude neighbors. You are not having any pancakes, because you wouldn't help me, and I worked hard to make them. Goodbye. Bang! He slammed his door in their faces. Mr. Wolf walked into his kitchen, sat down at his table, and poured a ton of maple syrup all over his hot pancakes. And he ate each and every one of them. They were the most delicious pancakes Mr. Wolf had ever eaten. And Mr. Wolf was happy now and satisfied with what he accomplished. And pancakes became Mr. Wolf's favorite food to eat.